right, everyone, Republicans may be getting an early Christmas present, which is that one Alabama senator, a Democrat, Doug Jones, is signaling that he may not be convinced enough to vote in favor of impeachment. If the Democrats can't even hold a partisan line among their minority of senators under Schumer's leadership, at that point the party's leadership, I think, implodes. Now, do I expect him to do this? Probably not. Statistically speaking, he's more likely to go with the partisan vote, but the optics couldn't be worse, and this probably loses him his Senate seat. Essentially, he's a vulnerable senator that represents people that are more anti-impeachment. He's in Alabama, of all places. He's got a reason to be a holdout. The problem with drawing attention to yourself by proclaiming yourself a potential holdout, you win no allies anywhere. The Republicans sent blood in the water. They're going to double down on ad spending and trying to cajole him into abandoning the Democrats, vote against impeachment, ha ha ha. They're going to double down, put more pressure on him. The Democrats likewise will double down and say, if you don't hold rank, we will kick you out, we will destroy you, we'll let the Republicans chew you up and spit you out. So he's probably fucked either way. Now, he'll probably lose his Senate seat as a result. Now, what does this mean? It means that in the RCP aggregate, I believe, the Republicans are favored to hold at least a slim majority in the Senate, like by 51 seats, unless we give them 52. That means that at a maximum, they lose one Senate seat, still end up controlling it. That doesn't make them look weak. There are other vulnerable Dems as well. And of course, I think there are like 5 toss-up races. The Republicans could come away with 2 or 3 of those, actually gain power in the Senate. If you had said in 2016 that was likely, I would have chuckled a little bit, because that would have been pie-in-the-sky sort of reasoning, because the Senate map, the races that are up for re-election disproportionately favor the Democrats because the Republicans are defending 2-1. But they've got flush campaign finance. They've got, again, the backing of some of the businesses that jumped shark before because they were terrified of Trump initially and wanted Hillary Clinton because, you know, she's a Clinton. And they've got this mandate with regards to impeachment, which is now less popular than it ever has been. Disapproval of impeachment is now higher, especially in red states. So if I'm a senator from Alabama right now, I'm under huge pressure. And he's not the only one that potentially gets shoved aside because of the impeachment fiasco. That's why Nancy Pelosi is sitting on the articles of impeachment right now is beyond me. She should just say, okay, well, here's the cop-out. And bad as though this may be, this is now the best possible opportunity for the Dems, which itself is terrible for the Dems. The best possible strategy Pelosi can use moving forward is to table the articles of impeachment with the excuse, make it a primetime speech and make the following excuse. Mitch McConnell refuses to guarantee a fair trial. We can't continue to lock down government. Things have to be done. We're standing on principle. We are acknowledging that Trump did things that are terrible and impeachable, but that he won't be removed because of Senate corruption. Give Democrats the Senate, and then we can talk. Kick Trump out by vote in 2020. This will look weak to anyone analyzing it. It's a strategic error in every possible sense. It's also literally the only way out for Nancy Pelosi at this point. If there's going to be a breaking of ranks in the Senate, it's not worth giving the Senate the trial. And Mitch McConnell is going to do everything in a procedural sense to constrain and make it as fast as possible to get it rammed through. He will be acquitted, Trump. We know that to be the case. And you might even have a Democrat or two joining the Republicans. That would fundamentally cripple the Democrats' argument that it's self-evident. If it's self-evident that Trump did bad things, then why would there be Democrats that were voting against the articles that you've drawn up? That would be funny. So I'm hoping he defects. I wouldn't give it a huge possibility. It's still, it's no less than 50-50, certainly. But it is possible, and that would be a funny thing. And it would throw a wrench into the plans of the DNC. The progressives should love this. Dude, Bernie Sanders is practically running against the Democrats right now. Shu actually had a tweet from one of his speeches, I think in Nashville, where he's like, oh, you know, there are people standing against universal health care. It's Trump and far-righters and stuff. And when he got to the part about establishment Democrats, people were more livid at the establishment Democrats than they are at Trump or the Republicans, certainly. Yeah, technically they're not wrong. The establishment Democrats do refuse to take it up as an issue. Hell, Hillary Clinton never did. Obama never did, never will. They've got more strategic sense, but if that's what you want out of the election, if your mandate is, well, you know, we want, free shit, you're not going to get it with Biden. You're not going to get it with Buttigieg. You're not going to get it with a Pelosiite in charge of the DNC or the House Dems. It's never going to happen. It's very, very funny to see the modern political situation. Supposedly, like, Trump is in disarray and uproar, chaos all the time, doesn't know what he's doing, chicken with his head cut off, terrible person, orange man bad, and yet his approval now is rising up towards 45, arguably about even with approval for impeachment, and certainly disapproval of Trump is vastly different from the support for impeachment numbers. And he's doing fine. The Democrats, meanwhile, can't even solidify themselves in what should be a simple partisan vote because of simple demographics. And it looks like Pelosi never even bothered to think about these things before starting the impeachment proceedings. If I had been her, I wouldn't have started them. I would have taken up a simple censure vote, and I would have said, look, the Senate's run by Republicans, and the AOC types need to shut up because they don't understand how to govern. They understand their utopian ideals, they understand ideology, but they don't understand how to actually make that ideology working, pragmatic solutions within politics. They don't know how to run a campaign. They're going to all fucking lose probably anyway. It'd be funny too. Best thing for them, really. That's about all. Peace out.